Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and variations thereupon. It's Citizen7, and we're playing Slay the Spire. So we're gonna go ahead and continue our run. Uh, as you can see here, when you save and quit, and then you come back to your run, it goes back to the beginning of the campfire. So once again, we get to choose whether we're going to rest, restore ourselves to full health, or whether we're going to smith. And I'm going to make the same choice as I did last time and go ahead and upgrade this bash, which is always going to be in our starting hand. That just seems quite good to me. So let's jump right into battle and see what we find. Alright, so this is interesting. We have two fat gremlins, a sneaky gremlin, and a mad gremlin. So this is the first time that we've had a really large number of enemies. Let's see. This guy intends to do 9 damage to us if he lives 14. We have this clash where we could actually kill him outright. But in order to use that, we have to spend these 2 defends, which means we're going to have to discard our bash. So I still think that's the best choice. Using our 2 defends to gain the 10 block, we all have 12 incoming, only take 2, then we can clash and headbutt to draw clash again next turn. So let's do that. And we're gonna go ahead, let's see, who will we headbutt? This guy has Angry, so whenever he takes attack, he gains strength. So poking at him is going to be less good for us in the long run. We want to do more meaningful attacks to him than just small ones. And yeah, 9 is like half his health, but if we can hit him all down in one turn, that'll prevent us from, taking 5 damage from him instead. So let's just hit the smaller of the fat gremlins. And we'll draw Clash again next turn. So we have 2 turns of weaken, so doing a little bit less damage, but still 10. 14 if we can get this off. So we're gonna defend. We're use our defend card to activate our clash and do, I guess, kill this guy with a strike. And put the 10 against this guy, and once again we'll ignore the mad gremlin, because these fat gremlins are going to keep stacking weakened on us, and that's just frustrating. So we'll kill this one. We'll use Clash on him. So next turn, next turn, basically, we will draw enough damage to kill him. For sure, no matter what we draw. So let's put the last damage on him. Now we have Rage to be able to gain a little block, and I like that because it'll actually protect us from the mad gremlins. So let's does damage twice, and this says every time he takes attack damage. So hitting him with the twin strike for 6 would actually give him 2 stacks of strength. So that's honestly terrible. But let's play Rage. We can use a strike on the fat gremlin, and we will actually strike this guy, or will we not? Now, if we... Either way, we won't take damage from him, because we've already blocked enough. It'll increase him to a 5 in doing the damage, but getting a little bit of damage on him, because we're still going to be weakened for a little bit more, I think getting the damage on him is going to be worth that buff. Now, we probably should have checked our draw pile just to see what it was that we were guaranteed to draw, but it was the last defend card. So now we have Bash again. And yes, we're still weakened, but putting the vulnerable on him is going to help us finish him off, sort of negate a bit of our weakened status. So it'll put our strikes back up to normal. Now, if we hit him with this, but if we defend instead, we'll only take 1 damage from him, going down to 50, instead of taking the 6 and going down to 45. And we'll definitely... it's possible that we could draw no damage next turn if we draw the 3 defends and rage and doubt, or the 3 defends and doubt and clash. It's possible that we could draw no damage next turn, but unlikely. So and the thing is, if we draw all of the defends, we're not going to take any damage. So I think tanking up here, taking 1 instead of giving him an extra hit, boosting him up to 7. And okay, so we drew 2 of them, but because he's weakened, 5 twice will kill him. So we get our gold reward, and let's see what we can add to the deck. Perfected Strike deals 6 damage, deals an additional 2 damage for all your cards containing strike. This is an excellent card because we have a few strikes, and we have the twin strike, and it says all your cards containing strike, so I believe it counts itself. So this is going to be quite a bit of damage. I like these. I think Clash, of course, is powerful, but I'm going to take Perfected Strike. Now let's see. Battle Trance is a free card to draw 3. You cannot draw any additional cards this turn. Also, very good to get that card draw happening, but I'm cool with going all in on that aggro strategy as we started to do last time. Let's take Perfected Strike. And now we have a choice of treasures, left treasure or right treasure, and being left-hand pathers, we'll just go ahead and go with that one. A Happy Flower. Every 3 turns, gain energy. 1 energy. So our every 3rd turn we'll have 4 energy. That's quite nice. So here we go with our elite fight. Be able to get another relic, and we have Lag of Wulin. Ooh. Yeah, so our Perfected Strike deals 20 damage. That's just its base level, 20 damage. So if we can inflict weakened on someone, really, really good. So I think, let's see, what is his... He currently has 8 armor, and he gains 8 block at the end of his turn. Now he's currently asleep, but I think it's time to wake him up. Let's bash him. Dun, 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 dun. So when he is awake, this enemy's stunned on its turn. So he'll skip his first turn, and he won't gain that armor at the end of his turn because he's awake now. And we get to deal 7 damage twice to him. I think we can run this guy down quite quickly. It's too bad. Oh, we had... Oh, man, that's a big mistake on my part, because we had this energy potion. I keep forgetting about the potions that we had. But we have this ability. We could have gained 2 energy and played the Perfected Strike for another, maybe another 30 damage, I think, because of his weakened status. So that was definitely a misplay on my part. And now we have Doubt in hand, and the Clash that can't be played. So we'll play what we can and defend Strike Strike. It's quite a lot of damage from this this mini boss. So we could rage to gain 4 armor from this headbutt and put either Bash or Perfected Strike. We could put Perfected Strike, which is our 20 damage skill, on the top of our library, but next turn he won't be vulnerable anymore. So we could gain 15 block and take only 3 damage, or using Rage and Headbutt and a block, we would gain 9 and still take 9. 9 is a lot. We're getting fairly low, and let's take a look at our map to have our choices. We are going to have this question mark here, then we're going to be able to deal with a shop, another fight, a shop, and then a rest. So it's not like we have a lot of rests coming up, but we also only have 1 more fight. So we could sort of justify getting low, but I don't think that low. We're just going to triple defend and hope for better cards next turn. What are we guaranteed to draw? Just a strike. Oh, yes, the Happy Flower. I need to keep an eye on my energy over here. I just assumed I had 3. I didn't look at that. So we actually had 4 energy, but since we have 1 energy left, we can do the headbutt and control our draw. So we know we're going to get a strike next turn, but we could also grab Perfected Strike. I think getting Bash again is our best bet to keep stacking this weakness onto him. All right. So our weekend has worn off. We're back to full strength, and we have the ability to bash and twin strike. He is going to use a debuff on us. A powerful negative effect. I haven't noticed whether the other debuffs, says, you know, strategic swirl, whether the other debuffs have said a powerful negative effect or just a negative effect. So interesting to note. It is powerful. But let's go ahead with our aggro strategy. Dealing another 14 to him. Because so we could do 14, or we could deal 13, which is only 1 less, and control our draw to get Bash again next turn. I honestly... I'm okay with that. Let's draw Bash again. All right, so our dexterity is down and our strength is down, and those are permanent debuffs. So when it said powerful negative effect, it wasn't kidding. Our damage is now down by 1 for the remainder of the fight, and we still have 44 left to do to him. And he's coming in with a really big strike. Next turn, we are going to have our 4 energy. Now these are still going to deal 7. So we could deal 21 to him, which is a little bit better than half. Or we could deal 14, putting him to 30, and increasing our block by a bit. Or we could increase the vulnerable stacks, dealing 13. So doing this is just significantly better than playing 2 strikes, because the damage is only 1 less, but it's also going to increase those vulnerable stacks for quite a while. So I think we're going to bash and defend. We did put bash on the top of our library for a reason, so let's use it. And this is going to hurt quite a bit. We can't take many more of these full power strikes. And now, of course, we're full of doubt. We're going to get a weakness at the end of this. But look, we've got our 4 energy. We've got Perfected Strike, which will deal 28 damage. All right, so... oh, Lord. Because we have doubt, we cannot play Clash. And our other cards, we have 2 defends, and then this. Another defend is in there. So, if we use our potion to draw 3 cards, we might be able to get an attack that we can play. If we get a strike from our draw, if we get headbutt or twin strike or even strike from our draw, we can win. And in fact, I think we might be able to win off of grabbing bash as well, because we have the 4 mana. So let's draw 3 cards. Defend, defense, strike. Okay. So I think that's all that we need to win. This will do 28, and yeah, and then strike will finish him off. So let's do it with style, by raging, striking, and striking. So we end this with 32. We got a new... oh, this is good. All right, so using our potion is good, because we got another potion. We can only hold 3. We got a new artifact, which is Pen Nib. Every 10th attack you play deals double damage. So we'll need to keep sight of that as well. And now let's see what new card we can add. Now, we could get another Clash. We've seen this Iron Wave before, and Sword Boomerang. Deal 3 damage to a random enemy 3 times. So it's 9 damage, and unless it becomes upgraded, in which case it will be more. But we can't control that. And there have been a lot of times where we want to be really strategic about what we're hitting. So I think we're going to take Clash. And we'll proceed to the unknown. Maybe we'll get a story. Yes. Oh, this is so good. You come across shimmering water flowing endlessly from a fountain on a nearby wall. Drink to remove all curses from your deck so we can finally get rid of that doubt. As you drink the water, you feel a dark grasp loosen. So that is going to help us out so well. That was the card that's really been holding us back from playing our clashes when they've come up. Can we change the order those are sorted in? No, they just are. They're in the order in which we've acquired them, I guess. All right. So we've got a lot of money. It's time to go into the shop. Let's see what we can acquire for ourselves for money. Ho ho! Welcome. No. Welcome. All right. So we have gain 1 artifact, which will negate the next debuff. So, and exhaust. So a one-time use, we can negate a debuff that's coming up. Here's that flex we've seen again. A twin strike on sale for only 26 gold, so we're absolutely taking that. Now keep in mind, twin strike, of course, is also going to boost our perfected strike. So we'll buy that. We've seen anger before. We've contemplated the qualities of Anger. I think Anger would be a much better card if we had card drawing abilities, and we don't. So here's this card, Transmutation. Add X random colorless cards into your hand for however much energy you have. So I guess you spend it for X energy, then you would end up discarding those cards, so they get added to your deck for that whole combat. I don't know how I feel about that. Here's a Feel No Pain. It's a power. This gives you a permanent effect for the whole battle. Whenever a card is exhausted, gain 4 block. Now, we're not really playing an exhaust cards. I don't think we have any, in fact, so unless we buy this one, Infernal Blade. Add a random attack to your hand. It costs 0 this turn. Exhaust. Now, we have, at the start of combat, each combat, draw 2 additional cards. At the start of your turn, deal 3 damage to all enemies. Upon pickup, choose a skill card. At the start of each combat, this card will be in your hand. Bottled Lightning. It's like the Bottled Flame. So we can have a skill card. And then some potions. So let's take a look at what do we have for skills right now. We've got Rage. And then we've got our defense. So honestly, we've gone all in on the attack. So Bottled Lightning actually seems terrible for us because starting out our turn with Rage in hand and Bash means that our first turn, we're going to want to play Rage, Bash. So deal 10 damage, gain 4 armor. It's not really that good of a turn. In fact, Rage is going to be a lot better on our 4-mana turn if we can actually use it on that turn. So I don't like this Bottled Lightning for our particular strategy, even though it is good in general. At the start of your turn, deal 3 damage to all enemies. Could also, theoretically, that sounds really good, except for the times when we've tried to be strategic and said, let's not hit that enemy that, boosts his power every time he takes damage. That sort of thing would be really poor against that kind of enemy. But on the other hand, considering the kind of deck that we're doing, it could be good. On the other hand, drawing extra cards just seems good. So let's buy the Bag of Preparation. Let's buy the Infernal Blade as well, because that is a skill. But if we draw it, with Clash in our hand, we can play it to get ourselves another attack that we can then play with Clash. And let's see, do we want to take any cards out of our deck? We could start, we could ditch some of these defends and go all in on the attack strategy. And this will say the cost of this service increases by 25 for the rest of this run. So every time you remove a card, it costs 25 more to remove the next card. And I think because we got that fountain to remove our curse, we don't need to remove any cards right now. I'm happy with this 18 card deck, yeah. Particularly since we're drawing 7 at the beginning, we'll be cycling through fairly quickly. So not only that, we have another shop coming up. So if we decide after this battle, yeah, we really do need to get rid of a card, we can. So here we have 3 of these louses. They are all going to try and attack us. They are all going to gain armor the first time. They are going to gain 3 block the first time that they are hit. But let's see. So we've got 3. We're probably going to bash. But let's play Infernal Blade and see what kind of attack we get for free. Because that could choose whether we use a Twin Strike Headbutt to finish one of these guys off. Because it'll be 16 to kill this one, 17 to kill this one, and 18 to kill this one. Alright, so we got an anger. It was going to cost 0 anyway, so we'll get an extra anger into our discard. But, you know, there we go. An extra 4 damage this turn. So, we'll kill this. I believe we can now kill this one. And the vulnerable, since we're killing him this turn, is not going to help us out too much. But we get a little bit more anger in our deck, and we have the joy of not taking that 7 damage. We're still going to take 12 that. Man, I don't know. I might have misplayed this, because we're going down to 20. We need to try to end this quickly. And with Perfected Strike, yeah, we're going to finish off one of these guys. We've only got 3, so we can't play our Clash. And he intends to use a buff. So we'll kill the one that's going to give us damage. And we'll hit him with the strike so that he gains his armor. And then loses it at the beginning of the next turn. So we don't need to gain armor this turn because he is not going to actually attack us. So he's used Grow to increase his strength. Now he's actually going to do quite a bit of damage to us, but he's only 8. He's not going to gain the armor. Strike takes him down. Or, you know, we could defend Clash, but Strike takes him down. We gain back a little bit of health. Let's see what kind of card we can get. So we've got a, oh wow, a gold level card here. We've got this Whirlwind. We haven't seen this. Spend all your energy. Deal 5 damage to all enemies for however much damage you spend. So that would either be 15 or 20 to all enemies. That sounds really good. Or we have this Uppercut attack. Deal 13 damage. Apply 1 weak and 1 vulnerable. So it reduces their attack and increases ours against them. Or we have Impervious, gain 30 block for the next turn, and then exhaust. So you can only do it 1 time. Honestly, I really like the Whirlwind, because plus we have these energy potions. There are turns where our flower goes off, where it would do an awful lot of damage. Let's take Whirlwind. And we'll examine our shop. Hello. So we still have a little bit of money. Jack of all trades, add 1 random colorless skill to your 1 random colorless card to your hand. Exhaust. And it's free to play. We have a Power of Inflame, which is on sale. Gain 2 strength, and that's just gonna, you know, stick with you the whole time. And then Battle Trance to draw cards. Chemokinesis deals damage at the cost of taking damage. We definitely don't want to do that. Clothesline will deal damage and apply weakness. We can think about buying Battle Trance. I think we definitely want Inflame. And Armaments gains 5 block. Upgrade a card in your hand for the rest of combat. So, ooh, sorry, I bumped my microphone there. Now, Toxic Egg, choose and upgrade a skill. Now that is quite good if we could upgrade, but again, we know that right now we only have the skill. No, we have 2 skills now. If we do this, we won't be able to buy Inflame. So let's see. And Inflame will set us to 20 cards in our deck, but let's see what Infernal Blade looks like when it's upgraded. We already know Rage just gives us 6 block, and there are a lot of times when we don't even get to play Rage. The upgraded version just makes it free. Okay, so instead of costing 1, it's free, so definitely a free attack every time this comes up, you know, the one time that it comes up. I think reducing the cost of Infernal Blade to free is not worth nearly as much as getting this Inflame. So let's take that. And we could consider Jack of all trades. We could consider Battle Trance because it's adding a card to our deck, but it's draw 3 cards. I honestly really like the idea of that because it's free. You know, it's always get 3 more cards. It's always going to be more options. It doesn't actually, it's not actually costly. And we don't have other card draw anyway. So let's buy Battle Trance. I think I might have underestimated it the first time that we saw it. I don't remember what it went up against, but you know, we've spent our gold. We've spent our gold pretty well. I don't think that we want any of these potions here, and we don't want Clothesline. So we've spent our gold as efficiently as possible. I think we're going to have to. This is obviously our boss. I think we're going to have to regain health here. We can't take the time to smith. So let's gain our 24 hit points, going up to 50, and proceed to the boss fight. And I see that our pen nib does continue holding its stacks in between fights. So that's a really good feature to be aware of. So here we go, first boss. And it is the Guardian. So he intends to block and use a buff. Mode shift, after taking 30 damage, changes to a defensive mode. Well, here we go. We've got Inflame in our starting hand. Nothing could be better. We'll get the most value out of it. We'll inflame to gain our 2 strength. All of our damage now is increased by 2. So Twin Strike automatically. Oh, it's so good. Alright, and for Effective Strike, 24 damage. We're going to do our bash to make this guy vulnerable. And now we've got the ability to gain 2 energy. Hit him again with Perfected Strike, Twin Strike, and Headbutt. We can gain up to 4 energy. Let's go all in on the damage. Because this is a boss, so we're going to go all in. 36 more damage, so he's going to go into his defensive mode. Mode shift wears off. He is now in defensive mode. He has 20 block. He's vulnerable. So we're not gonna use our second potion to Twin Strike Headbutt because of this armor now that he has. And you know we could put either of those cards back on top, but I think saving the potion is going to be the better choice for us. And we'll let that armor wear off and see what happens. He's still going to buff himself. Sharp Hide. Alright, so now whenever we attack him, we take 3 damage. And he intends to attack us for 9. So we've got Rage. We've got 2 clashes in hand, so we're going to have to draw 3 more cards in order to be able to play those. And 1, 2, 3 chances to draw another defend. Let's play Battle Trance first and see what we get. Alright, so we got 1 defend. So that's okay, because if we play Rage, every time we attack, we'll gain 4 block and take 3 damage. So we'll still gain a net 1 of block. So we're going to Rage first, then we're going to use our Defend. We'll be able to attack with both clashes and Twin Strike. I'm feeling good about this. So here's our Rage. We'll gain some block. Now our hand is free of, we can do these attacks for 24 each. And our double damage now from the pen niv for this next attack. So it's going to be 48 damage. That's absolutely delicious. Or 21 damage twice. So yeah, 48 still better. And now our twin strike to deal 10 damage twice. We're really going to town on this guy. And these each are not enough energy. Alright, I just wanted to point it to get the math. These will be 12 damage each, and because we've used our rage, we'll gain the block. So we could choose to take 1 damage, or we could drink our potion, push more damage onto him, while still negating his sharp hide. I think this is our best option right now. Next turn, we're going to have the 4 from the Happy Flower, but let's drink the potion and get the extra 24 damage in. While it's not even hurting us, he does no damage to us. End turn. So, aggressive. The enemy intends to use a buff and attack for 8 damage twice. So this time, we've got our 4 energy. We could play Whirlwind to deal 7 damage 4 times. And he's still weakened, so that will actually, I think 7 will increase to 9. So that's another 36. Whenever you play an attack, take 3 damage. So it won't damage us for each time the whirlwind goes around. We'll only take the damage 1 time. That does mean we're going to take 16 damage next turn, but we're living 50, and I do know that when you beat a boss, all of your health is restored. So we're going to YOLO Whirlwind. That actually, the math worked out better than I thought. I thought it would only do 36. It actually did 40. Because I was counting on it only increasing to 9. It actually increased to 10. So, yeah, I'd say that was a really good use of mana. So we know this guy is going to go back to his standing mode next time. We're going to draw Infernal Blade. So we're going to have some sort of attack. And who knows what else. But I think we can win next turn. Let's do it. Twin Slam. He's stood back up. Now, yeah, he won't go back into his other mode. So 24, yeah, we can just kill him. But let's see what we get from Infernal Blade. Another Whirlwind. So yeah, and it's supposed to cost 0, but I think because of the way that Whirlwind is worded, it'll still spend all our mana. So that's probably the worst card that you can... One of the worst cards you can get off of that, but we'll just use Perfected Strike. And win. We have killed the Guardian, achievement unlocked. Get gold, add a card to your deck. It looks like a guaranteed gold card. So we could get Impervious. We could get Feed, deal 10 damage. If this kills a non-minion enemy, gain 3 permanent maximum hit points, and then Exhaust. Or Offering, lose 4 hit points, gain double energy, draw 3 cards. This wouldn't necessarily work with our Pendulum. Let's take Feed. Gaining hit points, I think, is better than losing hit points. And Impervious, of course, we've seen this before. It's good, but we like attacks more than we like skills. Let's take the attack. And let's see, what do we get in this? Choose a relic. We can have Lizard Tail. When you would die, heal to 50% of your maximum hit points. Works 1 time. Eternal Feather. For every 5 cards in your deck, heal 2 hit points whenever you enter a rest site. And we currently have 22, so whenever we enter a rest site, by the time we enter the next rest site, we'll probably have 25. So we would heal 10 just immediately showing up. Or Tiny House, obtain 1 potion, gain 30 gold, raise your maximum hit points by 5, and obtain 1 card. Now this is going to be repeatable. Gain 10 hit points. But this raises our maximum hit points by 5. Gives us another card, some gold, and a potion. I like Tiny House. Let's find out what we get. A poison potion. And the card is Blood for Blood. We've seen this. Anger and Sword Boomerang. Alright, so, maybe we would have been better off with the repeatable, but I'm cool with this. Let's take Anger. Anger does have synergy with our Rage. Anger and Rage, who would have guessed? And we'll proceed. Act 2, the city. So we have beat the first boss, made it to the second act, and still having a grand old time. We are at 85 maximum hit points now, so that Tiny House, again, did increase our maximum hit points by 5. So I feel, honestly, that was, probably a little bit better than I was giving it credit for. And here we are, ready to start into Act 2. So join us next time for that adventure. Cheers. Thanks for watching.